Hey guys, it is time for the buzzword for the day. We've all dreamed about what it would be like to be a millionaire. But nowadays, $1 million wouldn't get you very much. But we've all dreamed of what it would be like to be a billionaire or to have all the money that we would need to do the things that we want to do in life. We've all dreamed about the house that we would have, the cars that we would drive, the lifestyle that we would maintain, and the stuff that we would own, computers, iPhones, just all the latest gadgets and everything, and the family members that we would help, uh, the organizations we would support, the mission work we'd be involved in. Can we think of all these great things we could do if we just had more money? But there's one thing that money cannot buy, and that's time. We're all given a set amount of time, and that time is determined by God. You can't add to that time that God has set, and you can't take away from that time that God has set. God has set that time. And on average, most people live from 70 to 80 years on this earth. Some people have lived to be 100, 110, and those are very rare occasions. So generally speaking, you're going to have maybe 80 years to live on this earth. And when you think of 80 years in light of the space from creation to today, the time span between those two, it's not really that very long, is it? And when you think of 80 years in light of eternity, that 80 years gets even smaller. And we're only given 24 hours in a day. You cannot buy more hours. 24 hours is all you get. So you need to make the best of that 24-hour time period and of that maybe 80 years on this earth. And the book of Ephesians encourages us in verse 15 and 16. It says, "Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time." King James Version says, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. There's so many things that you could do in an average day. There's so many things that you could get involved in that don't please God in that 24-hour span. And Paul is encouraging us in verse 1 of chapter 5 to be imitators of God. He's encouraging us to walk in the light, to be children of the light. And he tells us not to be unwise, but be wise. And the unwise are those that don't know Christ, are those that do know Christ and aren't living their lives to please him. And he encourages us, don't be like that, but be wise. The book of Proverbs tells us that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So how do you begin to walk as wise? By reverencing God. That's what it means to fear God. It doesn't mean to cower in the corner, afraid that God is going to come in any minute and just smack you around and kick you around or throw a few lightning bolts at you. That's not what it means. It means to reverence him, to place him as first in your life, and to give him authority, to give him your love and your attention, and all that you value needs to be in him. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. And Paul says, don't walk as the unwise, but walk as the wise. And those that reverence God can have him as first place in their life. Listen to what he has to say, because he's valuable to them. Just like my wife and my son They're valuable to me. So I listen to what they have to say. And that's how it should be with God. You should reverence him, value what he has to say, and live the way that he's asking you to live. Because he knows what's best for your life. So to follow him would be to carry out what is best for you. And Paul tells us to make use of our time, to make the best use of our time. And that's what we need to do. Live our lives for God. You know, sometimes I get caught up in what the media is talking about, politics. I get really caught up in that, and I'll invest my time in that, and that's wasting my time. I mean, it's okay to know about what's going on in politics, what's going on in world news, but what's most important is that I value God and that I'm investing my time in growing spiritually and worshiping him every day, praying, reading my Bible, being a godly husband, being a godly father. That's what's most important in life. And I only have 80 years. I have muscular dystrophy, so I probably don't even have that. But I have a short amount of time. And I need to remind myself of Ephesians 5 to make the best use of my time. And I want to encourage you to do the same. Don't waste your 24 hours. Because when you get to the end of your life, if you are able to know that your life's ending, because sometimes your life ends and you don't even know that it's ending. But if you were able to come to the end of your life and to know it's coming, I don't want you to regret the time that you spent in that short time frame. So I want to encourage you, make the best use of time and live it for Jesus. That's the buzzword for today. Enjoy life. Love the Lord. I'm going to buzz off. See ya.